Yeah, okay. So from our today's class, we are going to start learning Reactjs. So what is Reactjs? First of all, so it will take like nearly 5-6 days to complete the Reactjs, like more than 5-6 days. But completing JavaScript properly is very important to learn this Reactjs. So yeah, first of all, what is React.js? React.js is a JavaScript library. We use React.js to build UI, like how we create the UI using your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Here also we are using HTML, CSS only, but the advantage here is we are not using the DOM, like how we are using the DOM. We are targeting some specific element, then we are using this inner HTML to change the content. Okay, so this will become like more complicated to target a specific element, then we are doing the changes, so it will be like little complicated. So to overcome this issue, we use the React.js. What React.js will do, first of all, it is a library, and we use this library to create the user interfaces like your UI. And first of all, and it is a single page web application. What is mean by single page application? I will show you here. See, single page application means the URL will not be changed. So suppose when I am going to this Flipkart, see, the only content will be changed. This URL will not be changed. So this is mean by your what, single page application. The page is only one single. It is single. The content will be dynamic. Content will be changed over time, like based on the data, based on the interaction. The content only will be changed. This URL will not be changed. So this is mean by your what, single page application. So I think Flipkart is also a single page application. Let's see this. Yeah, URL is not, whenever the URL is not changing, only the content is changing. That is mean by your what, single page application. Here the page is only single, the content is getting changed. Okay, this is mean by your what, single page application. And yeah, so first of all, it create using the React.js, we can create a single page web application, and it is a library of your JavaScript. And the second thing is like how we are creating a website using your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We use in JavaScript, we use the DOM, right? We use the DOM for manipulation. Target, first of all, we target some element, we store inside a variable, then we update some data using inner HTML, then we are adding the stylings. All this thing logic we are doing using our DOM. So here we don't have to do that much of work. It makes our work more easy. And the benefit of using React.js, it is single page application. So if the web application is a single page, it will help you, right? It will look if it is efficient and it is fast. Every time your website is not loading, right, not reloading. So that is why creating a website using React.js is more fast compared to creating a website using your normal JavaScript. Okay, yeah, then after it, there are some history and features of your React.js. Like it is created by at Facebook and released in 2020, 2013, and it is used by many companies like Facebook, Instagram, Netflix. Like in Instagram also you can saw, like whenever the new reels are coming, the website is not getting refreshed, right? Automatic, all the changes are coming, right? So page are not getting refreshed and the URL is not getting changed. So in Instagram also we observe these things. We observe this single page application. Now getting my point, what is mean by single page application means data is dynamic, and when dynamic data comes, your URL or your page is not getting refreshed. This is mean by your what, single page application. So these are the companies, are there are many more companies which use the React.js in their development. Okay, so what are the key features of learning, like key features of using React.js? First of all, it is a component based. What is mean by component now? See, here we are making a website using components. So components, like you are creating a separate component for your header, you are creating a separate component for your this login button, this search bar, and like suppose if I am here, they are creating a simple separate component for this sidebar. And I'm going here, they are creating a separate component for these cards. So if there is a need, so if you are making, if you are creating a website using a component based architecture, it really helps you. Why? Because if there is a need of this component in any other page, instead of writing the whole complete code of this component again, you can reuse it, right? So first of all, in React.js, we write the code in a component based. We write the code like if it is a code for the button, we create one component for it. Okay, so we divide complete whole website in small pieces. Okay, we first of all we divide the complete whole website page in small pieces, and we can reuse it. Okay, how can we reuse it? One component can be reused in many places. So if you are creating a website by dividing it into multiple pieces, you can reuse it. So this is the second like benefit of using the React.js. First of all, we use the component based architecture. Because of using this component based architecture, you can reuse your components in multiple places. And the third benefit of using this key like React.js is, first of all, the website you create using the React.js, it is more fast, like more fast and more efficient compared to your normal JavaScript. Why? Because here it uses the virtual DOM. Okay, we learn about the DOM, right? What is DOM? Like DOM is a document object model, means your complete website code, HTML code will be stored inside a document object, right? So when I am going here, this is your element. So all the complete code of your HTML will be stored inside your document object, as we learned in our JavaScript. So this is your real DOM. Okay, this is your real DOM. What React.js is doing is it is creating a virtual DOM. Virtual DOM means it is creating a copies of your actual DOM. Okay, it is creating multiple copies of your actual DOM. So what the benefit of doing is suppose if you are doing some changes, if you are adding some items, like if I'm going here, so yeah, I'm taking this one. Yeah, I think I didn't logged in. Okay, yeah, if I'm doing any changes, suppose if I'm going here. Okay, I have to log in. So just try to understand from here only. What's the difference between your actual DOM and real DOM? Now you understood. What is your actual DOM? Like all the complete code or complete structure or HTML code will be stored inside your document. So that is your actual DOM. What React.js is do is did is like it creates multiple copies of your uh, real DOM. Okay, those copies we called it as what? Virtual DOM. Okay, those copies we called it as what? Virtual DOM. So what the benefit of using this virtual DOM is, if you are doing some changes in your website, like there are counter increment decrement like is there, right? Functionality, like if I click on this, like let me log in only. It is showing me the thing again and again. Okay, let's go to some different website. I'm going to Amazon.
Your screen is not visible.
Okay, yeah, sorry, you guys didn't tell me this thing. Okay, so now I share my screen. Okay, now it's visible, right? So I just told about the basic introduction of React.js. What is React.js? It is a library. It is a single page application. And what is the meaning of single page application? Single page application means the URL will not be changed. The content will be like a loaded in your page, but the URL will not be changed. Okay, this is mean by your what? Single page application. And there are some history we discussed, and after it we discussed about the component based architecture. So component based architecture means like you create the complete whole website, divide the complete whole website in multiple pieces. Okay, you divide the complete whole website of your website in multiple pieces, and suppose you create the multi piece of this header part as a one component. If there is a need of this code, this header somewhere else, instead of writing the complete thing multiple times, you can just reuse it directly. So this is a one feature of using the React.js. Okay, and there is one more feature, like we have virtual DOM also. What is virtual DOM? Like we have actual DOM, right? Real DOM. You can call it as what? Real DOM. Real DOM means a complete structure of your website. It will be stored inside a document object. So what React.js is doing is it create multiple copies of your real DOM. So whenever there are some changes in your website, the changes will be stored in your, the changes will be, first of all, the changes will be directly update in your virtual DOM, not directly in your real DOM. Okay, when we are using the normal pure JavaScript, we directly update our real DOM. So directly updating real DOM is not good approach. Why? Because it your website becomes slow if you are directly doing the changes like document dot inner HTML style. If you are doing the changes directly in your real DOM, your website becomes very slow. So it is not a good approach to directly use a real DOM. Instead of it, we use the virtual DOM. So React overcome this issue and they uses the virtual DOM whenever you are doing some changes. Whenever you are doing some changes in your website, like suppose I'm choosing like this. So these changes are reflected in your website. So it will be first stored in your virtual DOM. Suppose if you change one more thing, so this is also stored in your virtual DOM. Then from virtual DOM, it is updating in your real DOM. Okay, so if we are using like this, like React.js automatically doing all this thing behind, we are not doing it automatically using this virtual DOM, but it is very fast. If your changes are first stored in virtual DOM, and from virtual DOM, it is changed in your real DOM. So this is the like a benefit of using this React.js. So because of this virtual DOM, your website becomes more fast, and it is fast and efficient. Like smart updates, smart, why it is smart updates? Because of using this virtual DOM, and makes a website perform better. Okay, you using your React.js, your website performs really very well because of this virtual DOM only, and we can use the component based architecture, and you can reuse your code, right? And because of your single page application. Okay, so we can skip this one. That is unidirectional data flow. When we learn some concept, you understand it more clearly. So yeah, but we discussed just now what is virtual DOM. Virtual DOM stands for document object model. So it stores the complete structure of your website. Okay, complete structure of your HTML code inside a document object. So what React do? React creates copy of your real DOM in a memory. So those copies we called it as what? Virtual DOM. These copies are called it as what? Virtual DOM. When something changes, first of all, if you are doing some post, if you are doing increment decrement, there is some change in your website. So the first change will be stored in your virtual DOM. Then React compares this virtual DOM with your real DOM and only updates the part actually changed. Okay, instead of changing the complete website, it is only changed the part which is changed. Okay, so because of it, your website will work more fast. Previously, if you are creating a website using the normal JavaScript, if there is some changes, it reloads your like it updates your complete page. But when you are using this React.js, because of using this virtual DOM, it only updates that particular part only. Okay, we have one example also, like here. Yeah. Okay. Suppose here we have one example like this comparison, like how real DOM, how virtual DOM comparing with real DOM, how it is comparing with its previous copies. Also, we call this as what? Diffing. Okay, and how it is doing the how it is updating in real DOM, we called it as what? Reconciliation. So just see the example. There is are some terminologies. So mostly ask these terminologies in interviews. So that is why I am telling you this thing. So just see, only one paragraph text is changed. Okay, this process is called diffing. Yeah, if you are changing something in your website, okay, if you are using your pure JavaScript, if you are using something in your paragraph tag, whole website will be reload. Means whole website document will be reload. if you are using a pure JavaScript. But instead of using pure JavaScript, if you are using the React.js, only this particular part will be changed, not the complete website code. Okay, so this makes your website more fast, right? Getting my point? Any doubt till now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What about you, Harish? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so just try to understand what is mean by diffing. Like as I told you, what React.js do is it creates multiple copies of your actual DOM. So comparing these virtual DOM copies, that is known as for your what diffing, and updating the changes, directly updating after comparison, it updates the changes in your real DOM. That updation part we called it as what, reconciliation. Yeah. So diffing is finding differences between the old DOM, old virtual DOM versus new virtual DOM, and reconciliation means applying changes to real DOM. Yeah. So we have some frameworks also, like we have Angular also, Vue also, Vanilla.js. Vanilla.js is like a pure JavaScript only, and we have React.js. So which one is better? Like there is some comparison, so you can compare it from here. React React.js is like more better compared to like Angular.js. Okay, this is also use a single page application only, but this one is more better because here very easy to learn only, and it is very fast compared to your Angular.js. But still it is used, like many companies ask for the Angular.js developer, but more the jobs, like the demand of the developer are for the React.js developers. Okay, so now let's see, this is just a basic introduction. Why we use React.js, what's the benefit of learning React.js, how it is solving our problem. Like how we are creating, previously we are creating a website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. But when we are creating a website using these three technologies, our website is very slow. Okay, because why? Because we are directly doing the changes in our real DOM. This is the first reason. And the second reason is when you are navigating somewhere else, your URL is changed. Your website is not a single page application. Okay, so these are the two drawbacks of using like when we are using normal JavaScript. So React.js resolves these two issues. And in React.js we have, like as I told you, it uses the component based architecture. So this is really a very good feature, so you can reuse your code. So yeah, so yes, after it, how can we use the React.js now? There is some comparison. Yeah, how can we use the React.js? First of all, you must have to install the Node.js. Okay, and you have to use the npm. What is npm? Like it is a node package manager. Like if there is a need of any package, if you want to use some calendar, anything, if there is a need of any package, you can install it. Npm contains lot of packages. If I'm going to npm website, so if I'm going to npm package, npm packages, so this is the official website of your npm. You can go to this documentation as well. Okay, about npm packages and modules. Okay, so npm contains lot of packages. Like if you want to just use the any icons also, you can use the npm. If you want to do some, create some UI of you can say a UI of any buttons or calendar, you there are a lot of packages are already there. You just have to install it. For using purpose, you just have to install it by giving its proper name, npm install, and the name of your package, so you can install it. So what is mean by npm is, npm is a node package manager which contains lot of packages inside it. Based on your need, you can download it and you can use it. So why we use Node.js? You guys already know why we use it. Node.js is like a runtime environment of your JavaScript. Using it, you can run the JavaScript code outside of your browser. So first of all, you just have to download the Node.js. You already install it, right? So then you can check the version of your, whenever you download the Node.js, npm will be automatically installed. So if you have, like if we can see the version, so it means what, it is properly installed. So yeah, after it, npm is, yeah, it is there. Npm is a package manager, install and manage libraries and dependencies. Yeah, now it's time to download, like use the Reactjs. For using the Reactjs, we have one tool, that is White. White is a fast and modern build tool used to create React apps. To create the React app, you must have to use this White. Okay, previously there is one more tool was there, that is create React app, that is CRA. Now it is depreciated, it is not in use. So this is a modern tool. Using it, we can create the React app, that is your White. Okay, and it is widely used today. It is set up, it's everything for your minimal configuration. So you don't have to do many like much things. You just have to give this command, that is npm create and your whitelist is, this is your app name and which template you want to do. Like there are some templates are there, so just copy this command. I'm just copying this command. Yeah, so I'm creating one folder here now. Okay, I'm just creating one folder like a Reactjs coding something. Okay, so now I'm moving this folder here. Okay, just go inside your terminal. Yes, yeah, just just give me a minute, I will come back. Yeah, okay. So yes, here you can give the command of your whatever the commands we just saw, how to install, how to use the React.js. So just I'm giving that npm create React, create white latest, and this is your the name of your application, like a folder name you are giving, that is my app, or you can change it. So I'm just clicking enter after giving it, so it will do complete things. It will take some time. Oh yeah, let's see it. Copying complete thing. Okay, it is taking some time, I think. Oh, yeah, let's do it once again. Okay, now it is getting downloaded. Okay, see, it is giving me, my screen is visible, right? Okay, so yeah, here it is giving some options, just see it. See, it is giving me option which what thing I want to use. So here you can select your Reactjs. See, just click enter after selecting it. See, then it is giving you which like which version, like in React.js you can use either JavaScript only, you can use JavaScript. There are some types are there, so simply I can use the React JavaScript here. Okay, which language you are using with your JavaScript. I'm giving JavaScript here. Just click enter. Okay, yeah, I can keep this as no. So I want to install with npm also. So I'm clicking this yes also. Okay, see, it is creating one folder of my app. So this is the name which I gave here, my app. So it is taking some time. Okay, it is taking some time. Till then, just see the folder structure. Understanding this folder structure is really very must in learning Reactjs. So after installing this white tool, we must have to understand what is the proper folder structure. So in folder structure of if after creating a React app, it automatically creates all the complete folder structure of your website, like of your app. So it contains node modules, public folder, src folder, app.css, all these things. It automatically created just by giving this command. Okay, just see it. It contains node modules. So what is this node modules? Like all the necessary, all the dependencies, you can say, not necessary. All the dependencies are inside this node modules. If there is a need of anything, like there is some uh, see converter source, deepjs, these are like dependencies or like packages, you can say. If there is a need of any package in your website, in your application, you can simply download it. It is there, it is a completely there in your node.js, but now you want to use it in your website, in your app. So you first of all you have to download it. See, now your React app is created. It is giving me this URL, that is localhost. Just click on it, that is control plus click. When I click it here, see, it is opening this website. Yeah, it is taking some time for the first time. Okay, it is taking some time. Just leave it as it is. We are discussing about these node modules. So all the dependencies, all the packages are there inside your node modules. If you want to use any of the package, you have to use npm I and the package name. Okay, so you can use it in your application. So there is a white url.js. There are a lot of things are there. Okay, you can use it. So for validation, we use this dot validation. Okay, yeah, I'm just closing this. What is node modules? Node module contains all the dependencies, all the packages which can be used in your website development. So to use it, you just have to give the command npm install and the name of your package. So then after it, we have this public folder. Inside this public folder, we just have this svg, that is your like a title symbol. So yes, and then after it, we have this src as well. Yes, inside this src, this is really very important. Inside this src, we have this assets folder. So you give all the important assets like images, icons, all these things we store inside this assets folder. Then this app.css means complete css file. The code of your css we write inside this app.css. You can create multiple like a css files, not this only. You can create it, but React automatically giving some folders to us. Then we have this app.js also. This is jsx, not js. We are going to learn what is jsx also. So the complete core logic of your website will be given inside this app.js file, app.jsx file, and then we render this file inside our main.jsx file. Okay, just see here I render it, I call this particular file. Okay, this is a component. We are going to learn what is, how can we add it. See, first of all I import this app.jsx file here in this file, then I use it. So just see it when now let's see, I think our website is loaded. Yeah, yeah, it's proper. See, just see it when I click it here. See, it is like a boilerplate code. Whenever you install the React.js with white, it is giving you this code. And this code is there inside your main.jsx. As I told you, all the logical, all the code we render, we display inside our main.js. Inside our main.jsx, we render all the complete code of your website. And then we render all the complete code in your all the logical code, all the main code we render inside our app.jsx. Then this app.jsx we render inside our main.jsx. So suppose that code of counter, we can change it from here. So I am giving my name. Just see. Okay, we don't have to refresh it, it automatically do the refresh. Okay, and we don't have to use this go live button. We use this go live when we are using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. When we use the React.js, it automatically giving me this URL, that is localhost URL. Okay, you just have to click there. So this is just a boilerplate code which automatically is given by your React.js. Now you can write the code of your website. Now if you want to create of your website, you can change the code from here. Okay, so we are discussing about the folder structure. So in this app.jsx we give all the routings, all the main part of your code, and then we render this complete file inside our main.jsx. Okay, then what we are doing, as I tell you, this React.js is a single page application, right? This React.js is a single page application. So we render this main.jsx inside this index.html. Just see it in this complete file. There is only one main dot index.html is there. Yes, just see it. So yeah, just see it inside this id root. We are rendering the complete code of your website inside this div only. So when I'm going here, let's just see it. Yeah. See, inside this div only we are having the complete code of your website. Okay, this line of code is not there in your index.html. See, after div there is directly a script tag is there. So what this script tag is, this script tag is linked with your main.jsx. So means what, you are getting the complete code, this complete code of this counter app, all this text is there inside your main.jsx. So that is why we are giving the path here. So we are getting the data dynamic by using the script, and we are rendering the complete code inside our div. Okay, like inside our div, yeah, inside our div we are getting it, we are giving the path of our main.jsx. So inside this main.jsx we are rendering our app.jsx. In this app.jsx we are giving our actual logic of your website. So suppose if I am removing this complete code, now you want to create your own website. Okay, now let's write hello world something. So I'm removing this complete thing. There is like a shortcut keys are there. So I am giving RAFC. So it will create a component. So this is your one component. We are going to learn what is component. No need to be worried. So if I am giving hello here, hello world. Okay, now I write something inside my app.jsx file. Now I have to render it inside my main.jsx. It is already rendered. See, it is already imported. Now I am calling this to like a component name here. See, this is your component name, not your folder name. If it is a folder name, we must have to give this .jsx also, right? We are rendering its component here. Okay, so whatever the thing you are writing inside your main.jsx, it will be visible in your website. How it is visible? Because whatever the thing I am writing in my app.js file, I am rendering this page in my main.jsx. This main.jsx is linked with your index.html. So this is a flow, some flow you can understand. First of all, we are writing our core logic which we want to show in our website. We are writing that code in our app.jsx. Then we are rendering, we are importing this file in my main.jsx. This main.jsx is linked with your index.html. Getting my point? Any doubt till now? Guys, you have any doubt? Okay. Yes, just see the output. See, this hello world is visible here. So it is not properly visible because there are some styling is there. If you remove this styling as well, now it will look proper. I am removing this styling as well. But still there are some by default styling will be there. Index.cs. So I am removing this one also. See, it is now proper. So because of having some by default styling which is inside your app.css and this index.css, that is why it was coming at the middle. So suppose if I want to give this in a h1 tag, we can use it. The normal HTML tag, you can use it from here. So if I am giving hello world something like this, it is working. It will work. See, it is working. So you can write whatever the HTML code you learned in your previous classes. You can give it. You can use your CSS also. So yeah, if I want to give some more thing, like I want to give the paragraph tag also, so I can give the paragraph tag as well. So it will be shown in your website. How it is showing? The flow is, just try to understand the flow. We are writing the logic, we are writing the core UI part in our app.jsx, and it is we are importing inside our main.jsx. Then this main.jsx is linked with your index.html. How it is linked? By giving this src main dot, here we are giving the path here, and in this main.jsx we are using this get element by id. See, so we are fetching this root by its id name. Then we are inside it, we are rendering this app folder, or this is a component actually. So this is just a basic flow how your React.js works. Okay, this is like important files. First one is index.html. It contains the root div id root with where React loads. React.js, all the UI code of your React.js loads inside your this div. Then we have this main.jsx. This is the file where your code will be executed. It only contains this app.js app folder. Okay, app component we can say. Here we are rendering this app component. So here in this app.jsx we are giving the main core logic, main UI part of your website. Then we have this assets also, like we are giving some static files, there are some configuration. Yeah, all these things are like the basic things. Yeah, then we have this JSX. Okay, as I told you, like when we are creating a website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, we have to do lot of things. Like we have to fetch, first of all we have to uh, get a element, then we have to do changes in it using the inner HTML, we have to apply some CSS, we have to do lot of things. Like just to give some increment decrement, we have to, first of all we have to target a particular button, then we have to add the event listener. Yeah, so instead of this, what Java, this React.js giving us is, it is giving us JSX. JSX stands for JavaScript plus HTML. Okay, JSX stands for JavaScript XML. It lets you write HTML like code inside your JavaScript. So means you can write the HTML code inside your JavaScript file only. Not JavaScript file only. Yeah, inside your JSX file. Okay, you have to give the file extension as .jsx. Okay, So when you are giving it like this means you can write the code of your HTML and JavaScript together. Okay, so but your browser will not understand this JSX language. Okay, it can't understand this JSX like HTML plus JavaScript. Your browser will not able to understand this. So for that there is a like a tool is there. Okay, the tool is your Babel. Okay, what Babel do, it converts your JSX written code into pure JavaScript. That is why we use this Babel. It is automatically used by your Reactjs only. We don't have to do anything. But why we use this Babel? So now in Reactjs we use this JSX format. Means we write the code using HTML plus JavaScript. But your browser will not be able to understand this HTML plus JavaScript code. So that is why it is use this Babel. What Babel will do? It converts your modern JavaScript like a JSX and it converts into beginner like a browser friendly JavaScript code. So that is why we use this Babel. Yeah, so how can we create a JSX? Now I will create one file now. Okay, you see it here. I am creating one component here. So first of all, I am just giving some name. I am giving like home.jsx. Yes, so you have to give the that is keyword, that is RFCE. It will create a component. See, import React from React. So first of all we have to import React from React. This is your component name. See, this is like a function only, right? This is your arrow function. So inside this function, this is a function, and inside it we are able to write the code of your HTML. Means this is your JSX file. Okay, this is your function, and inside this function we are writing the code of your HTML. So as we know, function returns something, so that is why we are using this return, and inside after this return we are using this brackets. So inside this div you can write lines of code, whatever the code you want. So suppose if I want to create some variable, we learn about the variables, right, in our JavaScript. So suppose if I am creating the variable, let name equals to giving some name. First of all I will, yeah, okay, I will snooze it. It is giving me a lot of recommendation. Yeah, so here I am giving some, I am creating one variable, that is my name Fatima. Then after it I want to show this name here. So for that we don't we are directly accessing this variable. You to access to show this variable, I am using this name. Just see it now. See, it is not showing you anything. Why? Because we are not linking this home component in your app.jsx. Okay, so your app.jsx is not aware of this home.jsx file. So first of all we have to render this home.jsx file inside your app.jsx. So now here I am rendering this. I am giving home. See, see, it is getting imported. We learn about this import export, right? So you just have to close this. Now just see it. See, we are getting this Fatima from our home file. So suppose if I am giving something here, home Fatima coming from home component. Okay, now just see it. Yeah, so that is why we call this as a component based architecture. You can create multiple components like this, and then you can render it inside your app.jsx. Suppose you want to create the component for your button, you just have to give the name of your file, that is button.jsx. This is really very important. You are writing the code HTML plus JavaScript, right? So you have to give .jsx. So now inside this button I am giving, first of all we have to give the this boilerplate, you can say. Okay, it is giving creating complete component. So here suppose I am giving one way, I can create one variable. So const, I am creating suppose button, click me something. Okay, now inside it I am creating one button tag I am creating. So yeah, I am giving that this text from yeah, I have to give the variable name, right? See it, this is your separate one component. I want to show this button in my website. Now it is not visible. Just see it. It is not visible. Why it is not visible? Because after creating this button, we are not linking this button code in my app.jsx. So that is why it is not visible. So first of all, you have to render it here. So I am rendering button. So yeah, see, it is getting imported. You just have to give the proper path. Okay, now I'm closing this. Just see it here. See, button is here. So it is really making your code work more easy, right? If you want to do the same thing using your JavaScript, if you want to give some variable like this inside your HTML, first of all you have to target this button tag, then you have to use the inner HTML. Like there are lengthy work is there, but when you are using this React.js, the work becomes very less, right? You are directly creating one variable, giving some content. You can use the name of your variable inside your HTML code. So this is mean by your what JSX. You are writing the JavaScript code here, and you are directly using the JavaScript code inside your HTML. Okay. So yeah, this is your JSX. Any doubt till now? Okay. So as I told you, your browser will not able to understand this JSX code. For that purpose, we have this Babel. It converts your JavaScript JSX code into pure JavaScript language. So yeah, so then just now we create some components like a home component, button component. So there are some rules are there while creating the JSX. So the rule is return only one parent element. See, if you are giving one like this inside my home, I give like suppose here only inside my button only. If I am creating one more button and giving something like submit. Okay, just observe this. In this return, we are returning only one parent element, right? Suppose if I am removing this diff and now I am returning two elements. So this is not valid. You must have to only return one element only. You can't return two elements. So for that you must have to wrap it inside one diff. Okay, inside one diff you have to wrap it. Then only it will be perfect. Then only it will be work. Let's see it. Yeah. Then it is not giving me any kind of error. So you can't return multiple elements inside your return. First of all, you must have to wrap it inside the parent, or else you can use fragments. Fragments is like nothing but this one. So you are not giving any tag name, just you are giving the blank. So this is your fragments. It is not creating any extra unnecessary element, right? So this is also work fine. So you are returning only one element only. So what is the meaning of you can't return multiple elements inside this return keyword? You must have to wrap it inside one diff, or else you must have to wrap it inside the fragments. Using fragments is really very better approach. Why? Because it is not creating a unnecessary parent element. Okay, it is not creating unnecessary parent element, so it is a better approach to use this empty fragments instead of using the diff. Okay, yeah, we have some more rules are there. We have to remember while writing the code of your JSX. This is the first rule that return only one parent element. Yeah, this is the correct approach. Like we can't give it like this. And the second approach is we must have to use the camel case. Okay, like in your JavaScript, we are giving the name of your events as in lowercase on click. But in React.js, you can't use it like this. Why? Okay, you must have to. This is a rule. Okay, you must have to use it in a camel case. So on and then C will be capital. So I will show you here. So if I give like a normal letter, it will not give you work properly. So you must have to use this on click. Okay. So yeah, then you can write any function here, like I am writing alert, I am giving hello. Just see it. Yeah, we have to create a arrow function here. Yeah, now just see it. See. Okay. So when you give only on click, like in lowercase, it will not work. So camel case is really important when you are giving any attribute inside anything. See, it is not working. So this is your second rule, and we have one more thing inside it, like to give some ID class, we use just the class keyword. But we can't use this class keyword inside your React.js. Why? Because class is a reserved word. To create a class object, we already use this keyword. Okay, constructor, we already use this keyword. So you can't give the normally directly the class keyword. Instead of it, you have to give the class name. Okay, it will work same as your class keyword only, like using it you can give some styling, but instead of giving class you have to give the class name. So this is the second difference, why we use the class name, because class is a reserved word. Okay, so that is why we are giving class name. So like a class, instead of class we give the class name in our JSX. Instead of on click we give the on, C will be capital, and like this. Okay, even self closing, yeah. So you must have to close every tag. Like suppose in if you want to add some like img tag, image tag, we there is a self closing tag, right? So suppose, so yeah, input, yeah. So it will work, like if I'm not giving this slash in HTML, it will work properly, right? There is no need to give this slash, still it will work. But in React.js it is must to give this slash, or else it will give you some error. Okay, and if you are writing this without giving this slash, it will properly work in your HTML. But when you are writing this code, it is must to give this slash. So every element must be closed. You can't keep any element as open. So if you are giving this as open, it will not work properly. So this is your third rule. Yes, then after it we have some more thing, like style object must be JavaScript. So like in our HTML we give inline styling, like style color directly like this. You can't give styling like this when you are working with your React.js. First of all, you have to consider this inline styling as a object. So for creating as an object, you must have to use this curly brackets. Okay, so in style, to give some styling, we use this double curly bracket, then we can give the styling. So suppose if I want to give some styling here, I am using the inline styling. See, it is automatically taking this curly brackets. Then again we have to use the curly brackets. I am using the background color. Background, suppose I am giving red here. See, it is getting applied. So all the inline styling, internal, external will work properly, but there are some rules are there you must have to remember. You can't use the double quotes how we use in our HTML. You must have to consider this as an object. So that is why you must have to give this curly brackets. Yeah, this is your rule 4, you can say. Then to embed any expression, like you want to use any variables, like here just now in this I use some variable. This is my variable. If I create one more variable, that is name, const name. So here I am giving my name. So now if you want to use this name, you must have to, already I use it, but if you want to use it, you must have to use this curly brackets. Inside this curly brackets only you can give the name of your variable. So I am giving h1, and here I am giving a name, see. Okay, so this is the way at the time of calling any variable, it is must to use this curly brackets. Okay, so this is, yeah, this is done. Okay, so we will continue this what we can use inside the curly brackets, all these things in our next class. So yeah, in this class we learn a lot of things like first of all we get the introduction of your Reactjs. What is virtual DOM, real DOM, what is diffing, reconciliation. Yeah. Then after it we install the Reactjs and we use it. We learn about the folder structure. Then in folder structure there are what are the main important files. We saw this one. Then after it we learn this JSX. This is very really important. You can using this JSX you can write the HTML code with your inside your JavaScript. You just have to give the file extension as .jsx. Yeah, then after it we learn some rules. Okay, then our next class we are going to learn about the how can we create the components. So the file we are creating, this is nothing but your component only. Like I just create this button.jsx. This is your component. If you want to create like a header file, header like navigation something, so you can give nav.jsx. So it means what? It is your one component. So you can write the complete code of your navigation inside this file. You just have to give this rfcs and your navigation code you can write inside it. And now you want to render it in your website. See, it is created but it is not visible in your website. Okay, now I want to render, I want to show it in my website. So first of all you have to display, you have to render it inside your app.jsx. Okay, so I'm rendering this nav. It is getting imported, so now it will be visible. See, okay. So we are going to learn lot of more interesting things like already we saw this one how to create a components, but we can give some conditions also, conditional based rendering. There are a lot of things are there, so we are going to cover in our next class. So you guys have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay guys, so see, first of all just try to practice your javascript properly. You understand, it will really help you in learning the React.js. React.js is really very more easy. To create a website with React.js is really very easy compared to creating a website using your JavaScript. In JavaScript you have to use the DOM, all the things, lengthy things you have to do, but React.js making your work more easy. Okay, so yeah, that's all for our today's class. So we will meet tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.